Good evening, everybody. This is Dina Wilkinson, and I'm so excited to welcome you onto our Power Zoom call tonight. And we're very excited to have all of you. You know, we had an incredible GTC, we had an incredible April, and now let's have an incredible May. I would love anyone who wants to share with us tonight for just a few minutes. What did you learn from our sponsoring promotion that Arbonne offered from March to April 15? What did you learn from that experience of those 6 weeks? I'd love to hear from anybody of what your experience, what you learned. Gretchen, she says that sponsoring drives growth. And boy, is that not true? It does drive growth. And I would love any of you, especially if you're on an iPhone, if you would mute out yourself, because we're hearing kind of some like you're outside by the ocean. So any of you that are by the ocean, I'm still going to try to like you tonight. For those of you that are by the ocean, but let me see if I can figure out how to mute out everybody. Yeah, the rest of us are jealous.
It's probably me, Dina. I'm sorry, I'm in the car, so I'll pull over as soon as I can and try and mute myself out.
Okay, let me just see if I can mute out anybody that's not muted. And then we'll come back, and I'd love for any of you that want to share tonight. Let's see if there's anybody that's not muted out that we can mute out so we can get a clear line for our recording tonight.
Doing it now.
If there's anywhere else that needs to mute.
Here, Dina, I got it.
Do you? Oh, Dana, there she is.
Yeah, I made it.
If you will just mute us out, and then we'll get ready and start the training. So, yep.
Yeah, fortunately, the awards at school don't have singing and dancing in between.
So you're not there for the entire day?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dane.
Okay,
right.
I think there's one person not muted, and I don't know if I have the controls, Dina.
All right, let me see if there's, I think I do have it. Okay, I hear it. It's quiet now, though.
Okay.
I think we're good to go.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so if everybody could just mute out as you come on, we would really appreciate that. So let me share the screen. Are you guys seeing my slides?
Yes.
Oh, I've always just got to make sure that you're seeing them, because sometimes you just never know. All right, so what I wanted to focus in with you, some of you posted in that it made a huge difference to your business when you, let me just move this so I can go to a big. And if you have it muted out, would you please mute out your lines right now? I'm still hearing background noise. If you're on a phone, would you please press mute? Boy, we're still like we're in a, we're still.
Dina, I'm able to fix it now.
Okay. That would be great. All right, let me just move this over here. You know, we have this incredible promotion about our momentum promotion about sponsoring. And I think the thing that we all realized is, as Dana loves to say, that there are many shades of an Arbonne consultant. We're not all black and white. And so what I wanted to go through with you tonight is some reach out rules about how to really increase your sponsoring and give you some tips. Because really what we figured out is that 1 out of 10 people we approach is interested in Arbonne. 3 will think that they're sponsorable, but 1 will sign up. And so you need to get in front of a lot of people. So here are the reach out rules. First of all, I want you to not be attached to the outcome. You know, if you think about it, what you're offering to each person is a gift. I remember years ago, I went down to California with Ann Colum, and we sat in front of this woman who had helped start really successful direct selling companies. And I remember asking her, how have you sponsored so many people? And she said, Dina, you know what? It's like I've gotten the pot at the end of the rainbow. This has been such an incredible gift.
Correct.
That I always picture that I am just reaching out the gift to someone. Whoops. I am just reaching out the gift to a prospect. And as I reach out, they're the ones that have to reach out their hand and accept it. I never know who's going to accept my gift. So I want the key thing I want you to learn right now is that no one person's going to make or break your business. That it really is numbers. It's a numbers game. And so don't get so attached to just any one conversation. And if you allow yourself to live in your emotions and get discouraged when someone doesn't accept your gift, it's going to really slow down your business. You're going to live in your emotions. And so what I want you to realize with sponsoring, that you've got to live on the baby roller coaster. I want you to picture that you're at the amusement park and you're not going to be on the big roller coaster. You're only going to allow yourself to ride the little roller coaster so that you're not going to let your highs be too high and your lows be too low. If you live in the maybes, when I'm working with consultants, and if every single week when I talk to them, they're talking about the same 3 prospects, I have to take them out to the woodshed and I have to say, you have got to move on. You cannot keep living in that place of maybes. You've got to live on. You've got to go on, because when you're living with somebody who said, well, maybe we can talk about it at another time, you're going to live in that place that is just going to drag down your business. So don't let any one person distract you from where you want to go with your business. Just realize that, I need to bring in 1 to 5 consultants per month, and that's where I need to live. Now, the second one, this one's going to seem kind of counterintuitive. When I say don't be on the hunt, you think, of course I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt for new people to join my team. But what I want you to think about, instead of picturing yourself as a hunter, I want you to picture yourself as a farmer who sows seeds. You need to come from a place of not, who am I gonna get today, as coming from a place of, who can I offer the opportunity? You want to be on a mission. If you think about it, the difference between us and other companies is we offer people a way to have pure results, not chemical results. And we offer people a place where we offer amazing, an opportunity for not only their health, but for your finances. So that's your mission. Your mission is to offer that, and your intention is that I've got something amazing to offer you. I have no idea if this is going to be a fit for you or not, but it behooves me to share this with you. So that is where your intention needs to be. I find that the more interested I am in people, it's not what my presentation's all about. It's not me wowing them with facts and figures. It's really me being intrinsically curious about who they are and what's missing from their life, what's not. Think of that, you're Dr. Phil. And after you've listened to them tell you about themselves, you want to picture in your mind, you're saying, how's that working for you? And when you say, well, how is that working for you? How is your life not working for you right now? That's where you've got to find out. You've got to figure out what the dreams and discontents are of the people that you're working with. So you've got to be committed to giving them solutions. If you offer people solutions to their challenges, that's when they join you on this incredible Arbonne journey. Okay, number 3, less is more. I can't tell you how many times I have literally had to kick a consultant underneath the table because the person is ready to join right now, and they'll say things like, well, why don't you take home some samples or take home some products, and why don't you try them for a few days and we can get back together? No, the person is ready to sign up. Not every single person needs to hear everything you know about Arbonne. It's like asking somebody if they want to get married on the first date. They're going to run from you. So you've got to make sure that you don't Arbonne them by your job is to whet their appetite and then ask them to the next exposure, to the next dance. Remember, Arbonne is like dancing, and you want to make sure that you're just offering them. If you're on a cell phone, a mobile, if you would please make sure that you have muted yourself out, because cell phones really kind of mess up our recording. Thank you. Okay, now, I have it many times at the end of my business chat, had to ask myself, did I talk too much? If you're watching people having glazed eyes, you're talking too much. Stop talking. Ask questions. Listen. Find out what's important to them, and only share the information. I always ask people, what information would be important to you in order for you to know if this would be a good decision for you to join Arbonne? And I say, is it the products? Is it the compensation plan of how we get paid? Is it how you would get business started? What would be the most important? And you know what? That's what I focus in on. I don't focus on every aspect of my presentation, only what's important to them. Number 4, be authentic. I do it a different way than Dana does it. I do it a different way than Caroline would do it, or Joy would do it, or Gosha would do it, or Stacy would do it. You've got to be yourself. You've got to be real. The more you are real, the more attracted they're going to be in joining you. So make it, your job is that you're just going to offer something incredible to people. And remember that people sign up with people that they know, like, and trust. So I always remember that what people want to know is can I do this? Will you help me? Can I make money at this? And is it fun? And you got to make sure that you talk to them about those 4 different things. Be prepared. The more prepared you are, the more confident you're going to be. And then when you're confident, you relax and you forget about yourself. So here's number 5. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. A lot of times why new consultants can sponsor so easily is that they're not trying to be perfect. I love what Tony Robbins says here. Perfection is the absolute lowest standard you can have for yourself because it's impossible to attain. So, and then here at the bottom one, can I please reinforce this 1,000 times with you? If you keep people on your chicken list, I can promise you they're not going to be on somebody else's, and they're going to go sponsor that person. Do you know how many painful experiences I have had when I have walked into a Discover Arbonne and have seen that perfect person who's on my chicken list as the invited guest of another Arbonne consultant. Oh, that is painful. So make sure that you're not waiting around for someone to get off your chicken list. So if you can, rule number 6 is if you find yourself convincing, stop it. You know, I look back at all the different times when I've convinced someone to join my team. If you do that, every time you talk to that person, you're going to have to re-sponsor them. If you're always saying, you know, you really should do this, you really should do this, you'd be perfect at this, you are in convince mode. So, you know, you don't want to live in that place. If you're having to convince them, they're just not ready. The timing isn't right. Even if the opportunity is right for them, the timing's not. Number 7, you've got to listen, and you've got to really listen. You know, one of the things that I learned from a great book that's called Today I Begin a New Life is that intrinsically validating someone is the most important thing you can do. I want you to think, if for all the women that are on here tonight, you know, what we want most in our life is to feel like we're listened to and that people understand us. The greatest need for women is to be understood. And the only way you can really understand somebody is if you ask questions and you listen. And then say things like, tell me more about that. How does that make you feel? Has that been a challenge for you? You've got to really listen to. Once they feel understood, then you can take them over the bridge to having them see if Arbonne can be a solution. You know, if it's a friend you're meeting with, one of the things that I do is I say, how's your life going? How is today going? And then I lean over and I literally touch them on their arm, and then I say, no, really, how is life going for you? And just by being authentic, that's when they open up and tell me. They tell me about their challenges. They tell me that, you know, their husband just lost their job. They tell you that, you know, they're nervous because, you know, they don't know what to do because they just found out their husband's having an affair, or that their child they just found out that their child has serious health problems. That's when you find out, and you can really say, you know, I may have something that could be of real value for you. Would you be open to letting me share it with you? And once someone feels validated, that's when their heart opens to what it is you really have to say. So now, as soon as rule number 8 is you want to work from appointment to appointment. One of the things I find out that if my consultants feeling or like they're stalking people, it's because they haven't set up the follow-up appointment. So once you have someone enter your funnel, you got to remember that you never want more than 24 to 48 hours go between the next time that you meet them, the next time you get on a Zoom call with them, the next appointment, the next exposure. So you've got to respect your time, and you've got to respect theirs. So remember that BAM, book a meeting from a meeting. Now, one of the rule number 9 is you want to lead with what's in it for them. Remember, they don't care what's important to you. They only care what's in it for them. So you've got to figure out what their pain points are. And each profession, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a teacher, pharmaceutical sales, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in retail, whether you're in medicine and you're a dental hygienist, every single profession has a pain point. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write down And I want you to write down on the left-hand side what their pain points would be. You know, if you're going to speak to a friend, go to their Facebook page and go look at what they're posting on their Facebook page. And you can think about what their pain point is. If they're a teacher, what would be a pain point if they were a teacher? If they're a stay-at-home mom, their pain points is that they miss grown-up time. They're afraid that their head is turning to mush because they cannot remember when the last grown-up conversation they had. They miss the challenge of a new challenge at work. They get tired of the monotony of folding the clothes and then realizing that they're putting the next batch of wash in. So now what could you offer somebody? What could you offer someone who's a stay-at-home mom? Think about what you could offer them, that they could still be a hands-on mom, but that they could get dressed up once in a while, go meet new people, have new challenges, do something that is fun, have their own money, not have to ask their spouse for money to go to the mall. Those are the things that you have to offer someone. So if you will just take a minute and you will think of what the pain points for each one of the people that you're prospecting, that you're going to sit down and do a presentation with, or that you're going to do a three-way call with, if you're the upline area manager, what would be that pain point for that teacher, that person in medicine, that person in sales? And then you want to think about, you know, really covering that when you're talking to them and what you have to offer them, what's in it for them. So now, you're only as good as your questions. So let's talk about some of the great questions you could ask them. You could say, imagine your life 5 years from now, when time and money are no longer an issue. You can do exactly as you please. What does that look and feel like? And once you ask that question, just shut up. Don't say another word. Let them really think about it. If it takes them 2 minutes to picture it, just be quiet and let them do that. Now, if you carry on doing what you're currently doing, how long will it take you to achieve the life you've just described to me? Well, a lot of people will say, well, I don't know if I could achieve it with what I'm currently doing. Well, how does it make you feel to know you could never achieve what you've just described to me? You have two choices. You can give up on that life you just described to me, or you can find a vehicle. Which do you choose? You know, one of the questions I always like to say to someone is, you know, what you've described to me is that you're having to work really harder right now than you really want to. Could you, or would you even want to have to work at the same intensity level that you're working at right now 5 years from now? And they say, oh, no way. There's no way I would want to be working this hard. And I say, well, what are you going to do so you don't have to? And they say, well, I don't know. And then I say, well, let's really explore that. Because you're telling me you don't want to work this way. But what solutions? What have you looked at out there that's going to offer you solutions so you don't have to? So if you can ask better quality questions that gives people it really makes them think about their life, their financial life, where they want to be, you know, then you can offer them solutions. And I really believe that Arbonne offers so many people solutions for the challenges they're having in their life today. So those are the questions that you can ask to really open up their mind. And then you want to say, now, could you see that Arbonne, being able to choose your own hours, design a life that you choose, could offer you what you've just described to me? Are you open to really taking a good look? Are you open to trying something that could really give you the answers for the questions that you're having in your life? Arbonne offers a 45-day money-back guarantee. Even your starter kit is guaranteed. So why don't we start your discovery period? Because I find that people don't really know how much or how involved or what they want to do with a business like Arbonne until they jump in. So why don't, if I can make a recommendation, let's open up your account tonight and let's start your discovery period. So those are my rules for recruiting. And I just am, I think you have to just really share with them what you believe. If you really believe you have the answer, I really believe that everyone should try a business like ours at least once, because it works so beautifully around your life. So if you really believe that, then you need to say, I really, really believe that this could be the answer for you. Did everything I share with you today make sense? Is this something you could see yourself doing if you had the proper coaching, training, and support? And then you want to know right now, you want to know right then where they're at on a scale of 1 to 10. If you don't know, then you're going to leave the appointment with them just hanging. So on a scale of 1 being, no, I'm out of here, never want to talk to you again, and 10 being, yes, sign me up, where are you at? Now, if they tell me that they are a 5 or less, I direct them to becoming my client. And most of the time it's 7 and above. Those are the ones I can work with. So you could say, what needs to happen? You say that you're a 7 today. What needs to happen to take you closer to a 10? And then just let them think about it. If they are an 8 or a 9, then I move them to closing and signing up right then. And I'll say, well, so you probably have questions then. What you're probably wondering about is how you would get started, how you would begin a business with Arbonne. So let me go over there and tell you about what it would look like to get started. So that's how I would those are my rules, and that's how I would take someone through the close. So now I'm going to turn some time over to Mindy.
Thanks, Dina. And I love when you asked about, at the very beginning, when you asked, how did everybody feel about the Pure Momentum promotion? And Gretchen said, sponsoring drives growth. And boy, does it ever. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to share with you some quick numbers on what sponsoring consultants did in my group, because in my opinion, Pure Momentum is not over. This is something we need to live by. This is not just a short-term promotion. I hope it's ingrained in your brain that sponsoring consultants is what you need to be doing. And so I just want to take you back to November 2016, where we sponsored, this is in my area, 9 PCs and 2 consultants. And we pretty much were anywhere from, 12 to 15 people sponsored in my area for like a very long time. So, and then December, we didn't have much sponsoring. I mean, gosh, there were only 2 consultants. Okay. And the volume stayed flat. It stayed at about 15 to 20. But I want you to see what happened when January, I personally started shifting focus before Pure Momentum started. We had just 2 more consultants, 12 PCs and 4 consultants, and the volume jumped up to 22. We did have a little dip in February. We had 15 consultants, 15 PCs and 3 consultants, and we were at about 16. But guess what happened in March when more people on my team also started sponsoring consultants? We sponsored 12 PCs and 25 consultants. So the ratio started to flip from being PC heavy to being consultant, being more on the consultant side, and our volume went up to 25. And then in April, we sponsored 16 PCs and 22 consultants, and we went into region qual. We went to 41. So what I want you to understand about this is before, our ratio was about 2 consultants to every 10 PCs. And what's going to happen when you do that is that your volume's pretty much going to stay flat. And if you have one bad sponsoring month, you're going to dip. anywhere from 2 to 10,000, depending on where you're at in the business. So if you have 1 month off with your sponsoring of PCs, it's going to dip. So that consultant sponsoring is going to prevent dips. It's going to encourage growth. And more importantly, it's going to be sustainable. And what I mean by that is now, as a result, I'm already seeing some of the consultants who registered in March to start reordering within 60 days. And I would say my PCs reordered twice a year. I'm seeing within 2 months that consultants are starting to reorder. They're starting to transition their purchasing habits away from other sources to Arbonne as a way to reduce toxicity in the products they use, get a better discount, make everything more convenient for them. And then, of course, we know that those are our potential best business builders, business partners down the road, as well as hosts. So remember that number. It's basically, we flipped from having two consultants to about every 10 PCs, and now we're about maybe 2 to 5 PCs to every 10 consultants. And that's what's encouraged our growth. And that's why we're back on Region Qual. So you want to have like 1 consultant sponsored within your organization for like every 500 to 1,000 QV. And the only way to really ensure that is if you're personally committed to sponsoring at least 5 consultants in every month within your district. And so that's really, it's very simple. That's really all I wanted to share. And that is exactly what I've done, what Dina's talked about, and what Dana's been talking about. And we've had phenomenal growth.
That's awesome, Mindy. And I'm sorry, I cannot get the slideshow. I apologize. Something it's just spinning on my on my computer, so I must have bad internet connection. But Mindy,
it's gone, Dina.
Okay, good, because I can't see you guys. But Mindy, that is incredible. That is so important, because we have to realize that there's different levels of what people want to do when they open up an Arbonne account. And we have to remember that PCs can't duplicate, but consultants can. So I love your numbers, Mindy. They're amazing. It's so amazing to see the turn, and it's just truly just thinking about their business in a different way. So I thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was awesome. So I can't see. So Dana, I'm going to let you see the questions because my computer has frozen up. So you take over, babe.
All right. Thank you, Mindy. Somebody wrote thank you. Somebody wrote wonderful rules. Are these charts available for us to use? How do we get them?
Yeah, I can post that for everybody.
Please mute. A lot of muting. Lynn Macris said that everybody looks good. That was nice. Preferred clients can jump ship, but consultants are truly connected. This is from Deborah Schmidt. But preferred clients can jump ship, but consultants are truly connected. They all share their discounts, with others, which grows volume. And I want to share with all of you something that I shared this morning with the MVPs, that last month I did a presentation and I had somebody who wanted to order. He was placing a pretty decent order. So I said, if I were you, I'm sorry, my dog is drinking water and it's really loud. Can you guys hear that?
We can. We hear a laughing sound somewhere.
Can you see him? Oh my gosh, it sounds like he's, it's so I feel like I'm shouting, hey everybody. Trigger. All right. So I did a presentation, and this guy there wanted to place a significant order. His name is Tim, and he I just said, look, if I were you, I would sign up as a consultant. And the reason I know it's a little bit more than the PC, but you're going to get a more significant discount. You're positioned to do this business if you should choose to do so. And I know you're going to love all of this, and you're going to talk to people about this. And he ordered RE9 and he ordered the wand, the Genius Ultra. And while we were at GTC, I get a text and he says, how do I place an order? Because I have 2 friends who want the Genius Ultra and some of the RE9 sets, just like I have. So that was a significant order. A PC can't do that. Now, here's the other cool part. Over the weekend, he traveled from Atlanta and visited Savannah and stopped by, and he said to me, you know, I think I'd like to learn more about the business. And so, you know, sometimes, again, it's those multiple exposures. And one of the things that happens, and this is what I know happens for me, you guys, when I sponsor you as a consultant, I feel more compulsion. I feel like I need to keep following up with you to expand your understanding. And I don't feel the same thing with the PC, because for me, if you're not willing to get that consultant account, then you just want to buy some product and you really don't want to be loyal to Arbonne. In my worldview and the way I've experienced the business, when somebody takes that step and spends the extra money to be a consultant, even if they have no intention to do the business, they're making a bigger commitment to Arbonne. And that bigger commitment has an opportunity to turn into something more. So that's kind of what happens. It's not a mystery. Dina, do you have anything that you want to add?
No, I think that is just so, I think that is what's changed for the last 60 days is everyone's business is exploding. And I have no idea what that sound is. That's very interesting.
It's somebody on a Samson.
That's really, it's like we've got a drum beat kind of like in the background helping us. So I guess my challenge for May is, I would challenge you all. These new RE9 products are so extraordinary. We were looking today at one of our national vice president who's always had skin problems. Her face has always got some kind of pretty substantial breakout. She's been on these products for 2 months. She was one of the test MVPs who tried the products in the clinical testing. Her skin was so beautiful today. She didn't even have any foundation on. She said, I am such a happy camper. She said, who would I not share Arbonne with? Who would I not tell about these incredible products? So my challenge to each of you this month is to go and share Arbonne with 30 to 40 new people in May. I want you to really expand your contacts, expand your contact base, and really share Arbonne. I just thought of today that one of my very best clients is across the street from me, and I'm taking her over because I know what she's going to do for me. She has 9 sisters she wants to share Arbonne with. So I'm taking her over one of the deluxe travel sets because I want her to experience these products, and I'm going to get her the names of her 9 sisters, and I'm going to take baskets to them, because one of the fun things that Toy Step shared with us today, she calls it Vegas in a she calls it Vegas in a basket. So she tells people, I have come home from Vegas with the most incredible products, and I'm going to bring Vegas in a basket to you.
Vegas in a basket. I love it.
Idea. Wasn't that a fun idea? And so I'm just going to challenge you to get 30 to 40 new contacts this month, because that could just blow out your business. So that's all I have to share with you guys tonight.
That's it.
Yep.
That was great. I love that training. I love Mindy, numbers are just, oh my gosh, it's so true. 1 consultant for every $1,000. And so, if you're a district and you're looking to become an area, I mean, you broke it down so simply. If you're and those numbers are accurate. They've been accurate since I was an area manager. If you want to be an area manager, you need to make sure that you have 10 new consultants coming in, a few more. If you want to be a region, you're looking to bring in 40 consultants every month. And so you can measure where, what you consistently do every month is. So, if you're bringing in one new consultant a month, then you're probably safely a consultant, right? Consultant to maybe a district who's kind of maintaining. But if you want to safely be a district, you need to have at least 3 new consultants every month. So it's really simple to know, if I do this, this is the volume that I can expect. It's just the way it is. And consultants bring momentum and volume. And Mindy said it so beautifully. And it's just interesting how when, Mindy sat down with her numbers and looked at it, sometimes it's like, it can be painful because you look back and you go, that's what we were doing, but that took courage to share. Thank you so much, Mindy. Thank you so much for that. And everyone, let's just give it our best this week, and let's come back next week.
We have our Tanda event on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you want to be a part of if you want to have a group this Saturday for Tanda Cook, she's going to not just, do her normal routine. She's going to be tying together how our products, RE9, Rescue and Renew, and the nutrition support all of your body. So why Arbonne is a healthy choice. So if you have a group, just go to your MVP and they will give you the information to log into the Zoom. So we want to make sure that we reserve room for groups, because it's a great opportunity to get people together and have them learn something. We're going to have a little opportunity. You could do masks. You could do Better Than Botox event. I mean, there's so many cool things you can do. Have people over, get them there a little early. They could get the products on. And while the mask is drying, they could listen to Tanda. And then when, Tanda's done, they could, take off the mask, or you could have them do the masks while they're listening to Tanda. And there's so many fun things that you guys can do to make it, like a spa morning, or it could be, you could do shakes. It's whatever you want to do, but you can have fun with this and get people over and introduce them to this idea that Arbonne is a whole body solution for a toxic world. All right.
So we're looking forward to, can't wait to see how many of you have groups. We want to see that. It's going to be fun to see what everybody's doing at their house during this Tanda event on our Zoom call on Saturday. So we're excited. Can't wait to see what it's going to do for you and your business.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody. And we'll see you all on Saturday.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
I love your chair, Stacy.
Oh, thank you.
It is cute, isn't it?
I know.
That was my new little love that I had to have.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, my computer's frozen up, so I can't turn off the call or stop.
I'm going to do it. On your mark, get set. I'm going to do it. Go.
Okay, good night, everybody.